Hello, my name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music for the first time. As a musician myself, today is the return of Chrono Cross. We have, is it Termina, Another World, or is it Another Termina? I'm not sure. But the channel is Gemu Kyoku, requested by Tornhire, which by the way, Torn, that was suggested by Futune, so shout out Futune. And then we have two versions of a song called Arni Village. We have Arni Village Home and Other from the channel Yasunori Mitsuda, the composer of this game. Requested by Buekli. Okay, well, I've heard Chrono Cross a couple times in the past, like, 2 months, so interesting timing. This is Termina, Another World, and I don't know if these are related. Which one comes first? It doesn't matter, because I know nothing. Oh yeah, there's an intro I have to skip, I think. I'll just start from there. This is Termina. And I'm just gonna assume this is where it plays. Scottish? Or is this Irish? For some reason, my brain went to like Banjo-Kazooie. I don't know why. It's got like that fun Nintendo sound from like Rare Games or something. Ooh, you know what this sounds like to me? Even disregarding this, it sounds like a market. This sounds very like bustling. Buy items and stuff. Oh, cool bass. This sounds extremely like shopping center to me. What am I looking at though, by the way? What the heck? Are these like 2 levels? 2 floors? Oh, I think the perspective is kind of weird. It looks like the upper level and then and then walking to another one, and this might be like a wall you can't walk on. It's so bouncy. Actually, you know what this sounds like? It sounds like the first level of Chrono Trigger. The fair? Forgot what it's called. Like, just the vibe of that place. What was the name of that place? The Millennial Fair, yeah. Just something like that, right? Something very full of people running around and stuff. That's a mouth harp. A little... Well, it's supposed to sound like a mouth harp. This image is so... There's so much happening in this image. It's very busy. That, to me, sounded a lot like the Millennial Fair of Chrono Trigger. Even if it wasn't from... I'm aware Chrono Cross came after, but it would have reminded me anyways, even if it came from a different game. Just that whole feeling. And if I had to assume this is where it's playing, I don't know what I'm looking at. It kind of looks... It looks like you pass through here really quickly. But when it comes to YouTube thumbnails, you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt. You know, it could just be completely unrelated. It could just be an image from the game that they liked. But from what I'm seeing, it looks... Oh, man. It looks to have a lot of, like, Indian decorations. A lot of things hanging, a lot of banners, but also there's this random poster, which is just so out of place to me. It looks like a... God, I don't even know. It looks like they're promoting a concert for someone, or they're hinting at a boss or something. I have no idea. I haven't seen much footage of Chrono Cross, so I don't really know the vibe or the aesthetic of the game. I just know it's quite different from Chrono Trigger. Then again, Chrono Trigger was on the SNES. Chrono Trigger is one of those games, really quick, just before I move on, that I feel like it deserves a better shot from me. I played it, and I don't remember much of it. I'm just gonna be honest. That game was. It unfortunately fell to a dumb pattern I had back then, where I was playing not as many things as I could, but I thought I could balance two JRPGs at the time, and maybe some of you can, but I couldn't, And I was playing this at the exact same time as The Legend of Dragoon, both first playthroughs, so juggling two party characters' names, and it was just a lot. And both games had like time travel, and the things I remember from Chrono Trigger were just really like standout things, like the character names, the cutscenes from Akira. I don't know how to say his last name. Akira Toriyama, rest in peace. Did I say that right? I'm sorry. And it was a fun game. I do remember the mechanics stuck out to me. I liked how there was no transition into the battle themes. I could see why a lot of people love that game. Akira Toriyama. Ugh. I could see why a lot of people consider that one of their favorite games ever. Because not cutscenes, but battles would the screen would shatter previously, or you had to load into it. That one just kind of went right in, and the double attacks and everything. The reason I'm bringing all this up is because I don't want to make this a point every time I do Chrono Cross, but every time I do Chrono Cross, I get the people that are like, yeah, I was disappointed by this game because it wasn't Chrono Trigger Part 2, basically. It did its own thing. But I think that's why people like it, is because it is its own thing. And it has the DNA, right? It has Yasunori Mitsuda. It's got whatever. I don't know what carried over. Please be mindful of spoilers of those who haven't played it. But if I had to assume one thing that carries over is the time travel, because of the way the C looks in the font. But yeah, it was. I think this song was probably sent to me, especially knowing the requester, simply based on, two things: either the bass line, because it is catchy, or quite simply just the memories it brings, because it's very joyful. It sounds very nostalgic, but also there's not a lot of songs like this on the channel that I've reacted to. This is a very, how do I say, this is a kind of song you hear in a lot of games, but probably wouldn't normally get sent to someone to react to. It's almost like a trope of JRPGs to have some sort of market-like song like this. That's what I had to assume was going on here. Or a funny character, but it's called Termina, another world. So, I don't know. Really cool though. 2 songs coming up: Arni Village, Home, and Other. Okay. So I'm going to assume that both these songs, Termina and this one, are both just location themes. But for some reason, this one, I'm going to guess, is probably the first hometown. We'll see. Now that I think about it, a lot of Chrono Cross stuff does sound very Renaissance and it's like an 1800s feel every now and then. Oh man. I can feel the nostalgia on this one. I feel like people listening to this are being immediately thrown back to being a child, and coming home from school. I've said it multiple times, but Yasunori Mitsuda's approach to the bass is so fun. He does not skimp out on it. These are real instruments or not? I'm gonna say no, but they have a sound like they are. Like you can hear the finger slides on the strings, which could just be, you know, made that way. But the PS1 is kind of like in between, you know, real performances and MIDI, so it sounds really good. Right there. This sounds so First Village hometown to me. I've played a couple of RPGs now, and this is like that. This sounds like your pallet towns, your Colony 9, your shit, I can't even think of anything else right now. It's almost over. I'm not gonna talk because there's another version of it. I don't see how drastically different that one is. Same song. This is Other. I'm contemplating looking up footage for this. You can even hear more guitar slides here. Makes it feel a lot more alive. Throwing this guess out here. Is there a day and night cycle in this game? Because this could very well be like a night theme. Because I was trying to think of what other instances would there be another version of a song besides a callback later on in the game. Or it could be like a memory of home. Like later on in the game, thinking about home. quite emotional. It feels there's too many thoughts in my head. Like it feels like more like a distant memory of home now. As in we haven't heard this song in a while, and now we're hearing it again later on in the game. Or again, maybe a day and night cycle. I'm gonna probably look up footage in a bit. There's a big emphasis on. It seems like Chrono Cross in general, while it's clear that it's not Chrono Trigger Part 2, like it seemed like they just wanted to improve everything as far as graphics, you know, definitely the sound. And I know that's subjective, right? This sound font versus this one, but I mean, this is like the time when technology was moving like crazy. Everything was 3D. PS1 had, you know, CD quality sound. So I get it, right? I could see how in the 90s, especially late 90s, how, you know, making something look like a previous generation would just not make sense. Nowadays, it doesn't matter. You know, nowadays people will show you like the PlayStation 8 or the Xbox 1080, and it's probably still going to look like stuff now. I think we've kind of hit a plateau with graphics, if I'm being honest. Like the PS4 was probably the last generation that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like there's not really a huge difference anymore. But going from like SNES to PS1, yeah, that was huge. So there seems to, like, even in the soundtrack, there's a lot more of a human element. There's a lot of guitar slides everywhere. I can hear it like crazy all the time. The piano also has a bit of a dynamic feel. The keys are being hit hard, but it's hard to tell with the PS1 because that was the transition of, you know, what composers already knew how to use, which is, you know, MIDI and digitized stuff, but also where real instruments were being played, and I don't know. This was like right in between, and yeah, it kind of makes it a little difficult to kind of pinpoint. Before I look up where this plays, if I can even find it, the only reason I think that it sounds, the first one definitely sounded like home. It sounded really early on in the game. So did Termina, by the way. They both pretty early. But the request says Arni Village, home, and other. So, I mean, home is home, right? And it definitely shot me back to games I played where I actually really like hometowns themes. Like the first one that comes to mind is Pallet Town. I know that melody just no matter what, like 30 years later almost. But also it's just this feeling of adventures about to start. The turmoil hasn't happened yet. Typically, you know, you're just meeting the characters. You're meeting like a love interest. You're meeting the parents. You're meeting whatever. This is before like destruction happens. It's like a nice innocent time. And that's what I get from that. I'm not sure if this is actually that or if someone else's home. Because in Chrono Trigger, you definitely meet people in different parts of the world at different times. So I'm not sure if this is like the main character's home or just someone else's home. But it definitely has that feeling. As far as the second song, that's where it gets tricky. Because this game definitely is time travel, right? It's in the name, Chrono. But I wonder if they added a mechanic where it's in like a night and day cycle. I'm currently playing a game that has a night and day cycle with music. And that would make sense. That can sound like a nighttime version. But to me, it sounds more specific. It's more of a shot in the dark, but it sounds very distant memory. We hear that later. So, I'm going to take it upon myself to look at Chrono Cross footage. I've been looking at footage lately. You think I've been doing it for a while, but I just always avoided it. I mean, it doesn't say a lot, but it's outside. Village looks like there's not a whole lot of technology going on. I am interested in this just because I played Chrono Trigger, but I think I don't have any interest in playing this game, but I do have an interest in maybe watching like either a playthrough or watching the cutscenes or something. Just because I played the original. I'm just trying to decipher in my head, like, does this look like the first area that you would see in the game or something? And maybe I don't know the main character's name, but I know he's right there. But he's by himself, so maybe. If I had to take a guess, these are my guesses. Another World is the first location of the game. Arni Village is the first area of the game. Termina is a couple hours later. But I have no idea where the other version of Arni Village plays. I can't really, get somewhere with it. But either way, really cool. Chrono Cross. It's always fun hearing the music from this game and comparing it, because it's so different, and yet it's so similar to Trigger. The bass is there, the melodies are there. Yasunori Masuda has got better with his craft, but like the soundtracks are so different, the gameplay looks so different. So yeah. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Pause. Is this a typo? Is it Aruni Village? Because here it says Aruni Village. I'm sorry if I've been saying it wrong. Because the links I have are in Japanese. Hold on, let me go back. Oh no, it's Arni. So they messed up. I don't know. Anyways, that is Chrono Cross. Awesome. Thank you, Futune, Tornhire, and Buekli. Let me know more about these. Try to be mindful of spoilers. And I'll see you next time. Thanks to everyone you see on screen. I couldn't be here without them. Thanks to you for watching. My name is Jesse in the Auto Store. Peace.